My honest response was, are you kidding? No, that's not going to happen. But doctor again was like, you really ought to consider it. So we had a conversation about it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. That's crazy. Well, and then my first one I did, I was like, I don't know, one morning my body hurt. It's really good for inflammation. I mean, you're setting it in an ice pack essentially. So I got into a pretty cold bath, and I remember sitting there looking around and thinking, well, this sucks. This is absolutely nothing that I'm looking for in a bath. But I've actually come to really love cold baths, and I'm looking forward to summer because I haven't been able to take one in a couple of months. It lowers my core body temperature so much. In the Alaskan winter, my house is well insulated, but I'm sorry, when it's really cold, it's just cold. And it gets in, I don't know. I stay cold too damn long if I take a cold bath in the winter. So I'm really excited that it's finally warming up. And I had to laugh last year. Now, granted, my girlfriend Aggie, I could have definitely taken a bath at her house, but there was a house full of people. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us sharing the guest bathroom. So I didn't want to be in there very long. And I spent 2 nights at a hotel in Dallas, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I finally get a cold bath. This is going to be amazing. Well, you know what? Shockingly, hotel bath water is not very damn cold. So I was very disappointed. I had to wait till I got home. Anyway, why on earth would you ever want to take a cold bath? Because you're crazy? No, because they're really helpful. If you have a lot of aches and pains, or if you're a really intense athlete, which I'll be honest, I would love to be a lot more athletic than I am, but hey, I'm a dancer. That's going to have to do. Not that I love dancing, don't get me wrong. I just wish I could do more, but you know what they say about wish in one hand and poop in the other, and see which one fills up first. Anyway, this information, I can't believe I just said that. This information is from wellnessmama.com. Some of the benefits of an ice bath or a cold bath: it's going to shorten your recovery time. It's going to reduce both your swelling and your lactic acid. Now, that's what really drew me in. Because of my health issues, I have a pretty constant lactic acid burn in my legs, in my upper legs, and it sucks. I have to be really, I love cardio, but I have to be really selective. Like, I would love to be a runner. I can't run. I don't think it's so much the impact as it is just the repetition, because the front of my thighs will start burning so bad I can't keep going. If a dance class is way too repetitive, I can't do it. They have to mix it up a little bit. But that's what drew me into it, was the reduction of inflammation. My fascia is a freaking disaster. And the lactic acid burn. Now, the reason why this helps, they think it's likely due to the blood vessels constricting. Another study linked ice baths or cold baths with greater oxygenation. Well, that's going to help with muscle repair. You got to have oxygen to fix it. It can help reduce pain from injuries, or if you're like me, just from having really pissed off fascia. Side note, that's actually, according to the doctor I asked, that is the medical term for people like me. I was like, no, really, what's the medical term? She said, that's it. We have no idea why people like you have the fascia that you do, so we just say that it's pissed off fascia. So, isn't that lovely? I appreciated the honesty to be, I'd rather you told me up front that you have no idea how to fix this. I mean, they can treat me to a large degree, but anyway, that's another topic. You need to also remember, though, if you're doing this, if you're an athlete and you want to look into these cold baths, you need to consider that there are some studies that suggest the inflammatory process is essential to improving performance, and impeding that process could really dampen your progress. I didn't say that very well, but hopefully you get the gist. Good grief. Number 2 reason why you should consider taking a cold bath or an ice bath: it boosts your immune system. Isn't that crazy? I really wish I need to live somewhere where I can do this in the winter. But a Norwegian clinical study showed that people who like to take cold baths, they call out 29% less from their jobs, which I think, as someone who can never accrue very much leave due to health issues, 29% is a pretty fascinating number. The exposure to cold can actually increase your white blood cells, which helps protect you against disease. Short daily cold stress I had to giggle at the short there, as you know, an Alaskan and all. Short daily cold stress increases the numbers of cytotoxic, yes, sorry, cytotoxic T cells and NK cells, which are hugely important in preventing and fighting cancerous tumors. And finally, cold baths may help thicken the blood brain barrier. One of my brothers had issues with his blood brain barrier, and he's all fixed now, but he went through some really crazy crap. So that's important to keep that kind of thing nice and thick, and you don't want that. You do not want them mixing. Number 3, cold baths are good. Y'all are going to laugh, but I'm serious. They're good for your mood and for brain function. The cold activates the sympathetic nervous system and boosts your endorphins. It also increases noradrenaline in the brain, which is going to help you with focus, which I need a lot of help with personally. And it improves the mood for similar reasons. There's lots of cold receptors in the skin, so a cold shower essentially is sending electrical impulses to your brain. It's kind of similar to electroshock therapy, but obviously on a much safer and lesser scale. Number 4, it increases your energy. What? It really does. It increases your energy, your metabolism, and your weight loss. I absolutely love to take a cold bath on a hot morning because it really just fires me up for the day. I feel so much better. This is likely due to the increase of catecholamines, adrenaline and noradrenaline, as well as endorphins. It essentially gives you an adrenaline rush, which makes it really fascinating that this was recommended to me by my former naturopath. I had to fire him. That's a long story. Good doctor, crappy office. Anyway, we always would talk about not stressing my system and being really gentle with my adrenals. So I find it fascinating that this does essentially give you an adrenaline rush. But apparently it's one that's safe enough for people in my situation. Research shows that immersion in just 57-degree water increases your catecholamines by a mind-blowing, are you ready for this? 530%. That is so wild. Cold baths can help increase your metabolism and speed up weight loss. A study on metabolism and cold exposure showed that cold helps white fat behave more like brown fat. Brown fat it's your good fat. It helps create body heat, and it's considered the good fat. This means if a cold bath is going to help the white fat act more like a brown fat, it also means it's going to burn off some of the white fat. That's good. You also want to have more brown fat than white fat, because that sounds so disgusting though, doesn't it? The human body is so fascinating and gross all at the same time. But brown fat is also linked to better insulin sensitivity. So here's some tips. Start slow. Don't go out. Don't fill your tub with cold water and dump 3 or 4 bags of ice in there and jump in. If you've never done that before, it's not gonna go well. Even 60 degrees is cold enough to have an impact on your body. And you need to pay attention to your body. If your heart rate skyrockets, or if it feels abnormal at all, be smart. Get out. Get out. Don't hyperventilate. When you first get into the cold water, you're going to want to start sucking air. Don't. Just take some slow, deep breaths. And 10 to 15 minutes, it's all you need. And I gotta say, I've even taken cold bubble baths, as ridiculous as that sounds, but I've really gotten to where they just make my body feel so much better. I have no idea, Jay. I'm sorry. I have no clue. If you are a big sweater, maybe, do they still, I don't even know if they still make it. I have brothers, so I know this. They used to make one called, I think, Mitchum, and it was a really hardcore one, and if you weren't careful, it'd dry the crap out of your skin. I don't know. What size are my feet? It depends on the shoe, 7.5 to 8. And since I'm 5'2", I kind of got boats. But anyway, that's all I have for tonight. I know it's a big shock to my regulars, but I don't feel good. It's been a rough week. I'm not going to show my feet. Sorry. Besides, I got athletic socks on. Yes, I have on this nice blouse and athletic socks. My feet are cold. But, I was going to say something. I don't remember what. This has been a long week. Dude, I don't know how to block you on here. So y'all have a great weekend. I will be back Monday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. You have any questions, drop me a line on Twitter at Alaskan Courtney. I'll be happy to share with you whatever information